Hey guys, how's it going? This is Broku72 here, and welcome to a brand new video. And today I'm going to discuss the topic of what if Future Gohan traveled back in time to warn the Z Fighters of the androids instead of Future Trunks. So not only would this be something awesome, but it would have completely changed the outcome of both Z and Super and even GT. Now I'm going to just be talking in this video about how it would affect the end of Z and not Super or GT, but I will probably do videos on those in the future. So to start off, let's say in this timeline, Trunks wakes up just a few minutes after Gohan knocks him out to go fight the androids. Now Trunks senses Gohan's ki and it's dwindling, so he rushes to the battle, and he arrives to see a bloodied Gohan, barely able to get up. He has been reverted to his base form. Now every time Gohan struggles to stand up and stand against the androids, 17 just kicks him across the street. Gohan will not give up, and he knows he's going to die. Gohan and the androids realize that Trunks has showed up. Gohan tries to convince Trunks to leave, as there's no way that Gohan and Trunks can beat the androids, especially since Gohan is massively weakened and Trunks has yet to unlock his Super Saiyan transformation. Trunks refuses. He's been a dumb, brave teen, and he tries with all of his might to fight the androids, but he can barely hit them, let alone damage them. Trunks is beaten to a pulp, and he's lying down next to Gohan. They look into each other's eyes and they share some kind words as they both think that they are about to die. And then 17 stomps on Trunks' arm, snapping it. The androids start to torture Gohan and Trunks, breaking limbs, stomping on them, and then 17 raises his hand over Trunks, over his chest, and unleashes an energy blast. Trunks is disintegrated. Gohan can barely hold back the rage, pain, and sadness. He's too weak to do anything, but he does transform into a Super Saiyan. Even for a glimpse of a time, he transforms into Super Saiyan 2 before his body fails. Now 17 tells Gohan that it is his own fault that his young pupil is dead, and he will have to live with it. And 17 knocks Gohan out. Gohan wakes up in a hospital months later or weeks later and is treated by Bulma. Now eventually Gohan would use the time machine to go back in time to warn his friends and family, as well as to hopefully change his own timeline. From here on, it actually goes very similar to actual canon. Frieza arrives and everyone thinks that they are screwed, but a mysterious warrior shows up. Everyone is puzzled, as his ki feels oddly familiar. Not only does his ki feel familiar, he looks familiar, and he's actually wearing the same outfit as Goku. Now everyone is very curious about this one-armed warrior. Gohan goes to confront Frieza, Cold, and their army. The Z Fighters shout, "What are you doing? You only have one arm. You're going to die." Then, Gohan in just a fraction of a second takes down the entire Frieza army, leaving Frieza and Cold the only ones left. The Z Fighters are shocked, along with Cold and Frieza. Everyone is like, who is this mysterious warrior? And a flash of golden aura, he turns into Super Saiyan. Frieza and everyone is shocked. Vegeta is pissed. Frieza is just, he's scared and mad at the same time because he notices this is the same transformation that Goku goes through. Now I believe that Gohan would be about 25 to 50% stronger than Trunks at this time at the very least. So despite no sword and only one arm, he could easily take down the alien emperor. Anyways, Gohan rushes Frieza, and after a few pummeling hits, paralyzing Frieza for a few seconds, then he puts out his hand and does a Kamehameha. Frieza is obliterated. The Z Fighters question on how this Super Saiyan was actually able to even go Super Saiyan and was able to do a Kamehameha. Cold tries to reason with Gohan, but Gohan doesn't give him the time of day, and Gohan kills him with a fist through his heart. Now things go similar from here on out. Goku arrives, Future Gohan tells him who he is, and Piccolo hears him, and also he hears that the androids are coming. Now, young Gohan feels oddly suspicious with Future Gohan, not knowing who he is, but he can feel the resemblance, but he just pushes it off. Gohan returns to his past, and the Z Fighters go off to train intensely for the next 3 years. 3 years later, the Z Fighters take on 19 and 20, and this goes pretty much the same. Goku gets sick, Vegeta butt rapes 19, and then there's a chase for 20. Gohan arrives and says these are not the androids. 18 and 17 are released, and Gohan confirms that these are actually the androids. He knows that his father's sick, but Gohan recommends teamwork, and he's actually excited and has hope due to there actually being 2 Super Saiyans at the same time, as well as Vegeta being much stronger than his future counterpart. But Vegeta's pride takes over, and he says he'll take the android on himself. Now Gohan can't really do much because Vegeta is much stronger than him, so all he can do is sit back and watch. Same events occur, and once Vegeta's arm is broken, Gohan turns Super Saiyan and rushes to Vegeta's aid, and 17 gets in front of him, and Gohan fares better than Trunks in the original thing. They trade a few blows before Gohan is actually kicked and knocked out, and as other Z fighters rush in, and they're all defeated as well. Now, Piccolo does fuse with Kami and hunts for Cell, and Vegeta goes into the time chamber, but this time he goes in alone, and so he comes out of the chamber only actually slightly weaker, and it's not really much weaker because it seemed in the manga and the anime that Vegeta and Trunks, when they were in the time chamber, they didn't really train with each other. They kind of went and did their own thing, and so that's why I think he would have been weaker, because although they did train together a bit, he wouldn't be that much weaker. Now he's still more than strong enough to pummel Semi-Perfect Cell, so he does end up letting him absorb 18, and then he gets his ass kicked. Now, the difference here is Goku and future Gohan go into the time chamber, not Goku and present Gohan. Now let's think of young Gohan here. He's a baby, then his dad dies, he doesn't see him for a year. Then his dad is presumed dead, but survives the Frieza thing, and he's gone for another year. That's 2 years out of his young life where his dad's not there at all. And then they do train together for 3 years, but Gohan, knowing that they were going to use the time chamber, thought he was going to be training with his dad for a whole year, was going to be able to get alone time with him, and was going to be able to bond with him and get much stronger. But it's going to be future Gohan instead. Now at this point, Gohan does know that that is actually himself from the future, but he doesn't care. Like, imagine if you were in his situation, where you haven't been able to see your father very much in your life, and then even though a future you, your own self, comes in, you would still be feeling not very great about it. Now this is huge for the future of the story. This really does infuriate and enrage present Gohan. But Piccolo tells him not to worry, and says that your future self is just so much stronger than you, can go Super Saiyan, and we just can't risk it. We don't know how strong you will come out, but we know he will probably be stronger. And he says that he will go into the time chamber with Gohan so that they can train together. And Goku, he still discovers the Ascended Super Saiyan, and future Gohan, he just becomes super powerful. Future Gohan is taught Instant Transmission, Kaioken, and the Spirit Bomb. And Piccolo and present Gohan go in, and Gohan bonds even more with Piccolo. Like, it's kind of like Piccolo is more of the father figure to Gohan than Goku is himself. Gohan, the present Gohan, unlocks the Super Saiyan transformation, and he actually becomes several times more powerful in the base. While he's actually still very strong, he's actually only about 80% of the power of what he actually was in the actual canon. And actually now, Piccolo is much stronger after training for a year in the time chamber with a Super Saiyan. So I would say he's maybe 50% to twice as strong as he was before, and I'm talking about Piccolo here. So these Cell games begin, and it is similar. Goku starts off, he quits, but future Gohan goes in, and as a Super Saiyan 1, it's actually stronger than Perfect Cell, because this Gohan is just much more stronger than the original present Gohan. So, and the reason why his huge power boost is Gohan never properly got to train with a strong partner in his life. But 1 year in the chamber with Goku, that would be enough. That's a lot of training. And this time, Cell, he doesn't actually make the juniors to enrage Gohan and bring out his power, but he uses it as a defense technique because he's losing to Gohan. He makes a junior for all of the bystanders and an additional 2 that would fight alongside himself, Perfect Cell. Not only is Gohan not having to fight Perfect Cell and 2 Cell juniors, which slightly overpower him now, he's also getting distracted by his friends fighting the juniors. And he loses focus, and Perfect Cell takes advantage. He gets the upper hand and starts beating future Gohan. Now future Gohan, he's seen his friends losing, and he starts thinking of his own timeline. And this gets him enraged, and turns him to a Super Saiyan 2. He pummels the juniors, and then Cell. He punches Cell, Android 18 comes out, but Gohan just puts his hand over Semi-Perfect Cell now, and obliterates him with one blast. So Cell dies, Super Cell never comes to fruition, King Kai doesn't die, and neither does Goku. Now Gohan does go back to his timeline after he gets his arm wished back with the Dragon Balls, along with a lot of the other people's lives. Now future Gohan goes back being much stronger than even what future Trunks was when he got back, and not only that and his base form being stronger, but he also has the Super Saiyan 2 transformation. He knows of Kaioken, the Spirit Bomb, and instant transmission. So he goes back, easily kills the androids as a Super Saiyan 1, also kills Imperfect Cell. And now Gohan, the present Gohan, is actually much more motivated to train over the 7 years due to advice from his future self that he got, saying that yes, he can study his ass off and still find time to train. The planet needs him, he's going to be very strong. Now, Goku is still alive, but over the 7 years, he trains most of his time with the King Kai. This leads to even more of a separation between the father and son. Now for this, I'm going to say that for 2 years, Gohan trains and studies hard. Now, although he realizes without a proper sparring partner, and Goten being too young, Piccolo also being a bit too weak, he asks Vegeta if he can train with him and use the gravity room. Vegeta, now much stronger and having achieved Super Saiyan 2, scoffs at Gohan, saying he's far too weak to train with him. This enrages Gohan. He wants to be strong, but nobody is there for him, not even his father. Piccolo is there at times, but he just isn't up to par with Gohan's powers. Gohan needs a Saiyan, a Super Saiyan that he can train with. Gohan, recognizing he is actually going to be needed to protect Earth, goes to the time chamber and requests to use it to Dende and Popo. They accept it, of course, and Gohan spends a year to his lonesome in the time chamber, not only increasing his base form several fold, but he achieves the actual Super Saiyan 2 transformation. He then exits the time chamber after a full day and immediately goes to Vegeta. Gohan as a Super Saiyan 2 spars with Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and Gohan earns Vegeta's respect and lets him train. Now due to this, by the time of the Buu Saga, Vegeta is around 50% to twice as strong, and Gohan is around 10 to 20% stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta from canon. Now, due to Gohan being a father figure to Goten, a better father than Goku himself, he has gotten Goten to train much harder at an earlier age. This leads to Trunks training more, as well as this leads to both of them being 2 to 3 times stronger than in original canon. Now, Goku still learned Super Saiyan 3, but he can use it much less time and is much more of a strain and much more uncontrollable. He does learn the fusion technique also from King Kai, and his base form is actually stronger, because I feel that during the 7-year gap, although he was training, it was more of learning techniques and mastering his fighting style and not his actual power. And since he was actually dead, I feel like it's harder to actually increase your power if you're dead, but since he was actually alive, it'd be easier. Now the events actually start to happen with the whole Deborah, Puipi, and Yakan thing, and Spopovich and all that yada yada, but Vegeta, he demands a fight from Goku or he's gonna blow up the tournament. Goku buys his bluff, and Gohan is sent to go take on Deborah because Gohan is much stronger in this. They believe Gohan, who is now much stronger than Perfect Cell, he can handle himself, especially since a guy who is rumored to be as strong as Perfect Cell. So, Goku and Vegeta start fighting as Super Saiyan 2s. Now, I'd say Goku's base form is slightly stronger in here. Vegeta is, even without the Majin, is actually much stronger than his original self. So he's basically beating Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and as Gohan easily wipes out Deborah as a Super Saiyan 1, then he powers up to Super Saiyan 2 to fight Fat Buu. Now despite the power growth, Gohan fares better, but faces the same fate. He gets blown away and everybody thinks he's dead. Vegeta knocks out Goku so he can actually be the hero for once, and Vegeta is high with power. He was finally able to surpass Goku and beat him in a fight. Now like Gohan, Vegeta fares much better, but he's actually still overpowered and sacrifices himself. Of course, it doesn't work. With Gohan presumed dead, as well as Vegeta, Goku goes to face Fat Buu. Goku as a Super Saiyan 2 would actually be much weaker than Vegeta, so Buu would even have a better time against him than even Vegeta did as a Super Saiyan 2. Now Goku tries to go Super Saiyan 3, and he does overpower Fat Buu, but since he can only maintain the form for around a minute and it's a huge strain on his body, he reverts back to Super Saiyan 1 against his will. Now he goes back to his base form, and he tells the Buu, there's going to be a fighter much stronger than me that will be here soon. Now he's going to be alluding to Super Saiyan Gotenks, because he's going to go back and teach Goten and Trunks how to do the fusion. And since Goten and Trunks are actually 2 to 3 times stronger than the original counterparts, they are going to be a lot stronger as Gotenks. Now, Evil Buu does come out of Fat Buu, and Evil Buu absorbs Fat Buu, becoming Super Buu, but once Gotenks fuses and they go Super Saiyan 1, he would only be slightly weaker than Super Buu due to them being much stronger, since Goten and Trunks actually trained hard over that gap. And once they go Super Saiyan 3, they actually start beating the absolute crap out of Super Buu, and are basically equal to Mystic Gohan level, if not stronger. And despite beating the crap out of Buu, since they are a Super Saiyan 3, their fusion lasts not very long, and they are split, and they are seen to be going to die, as Goten and Trunks, even as Super Saiyan, would be nothing compared to a vastly weakened Super Buu. But the thing that happened was Gohan still got picked up by the Kais and unlocked his Mystic or Ultimate form. And since Gohan is several times stronger in this scenario, his Mystic form is going to be several times stronger as well. So he's going to come back to Earth to save Goten and Trunks. And not only is Gohan several times stronger than his original Mystic form, but Super Buu is much weaker due to getting beaten up and weakened by a much stronger Gotenks. Now, Mystic Gohan has a very easy time with Super Buu, beating the absolute crap out of him, and eventually blowing him to smithereens with a full-powered Kamehameha, and this actually just literally obliterates Buu. He cannot regenerate it from his regeneration technique. So, there was a lot of different things that came out of this. Super Buu is actually defeated. There's no Vegito, there's no Bootanks or Buhan, there's no Destroying Earth, and there's no Oob. This is very different, and this comes out as Gohan is just insanely powerful. He's even more strong than he was. I'd say he's 2 to 4 times stronger than original canon. Now this would very, very much affect GT and Super, but I will be discussing those in a later video. I will probably do GT in the next few weeks after I've finished my viewing of the series, and I will probably do Super probably after the Universal Tournament arc, because I want to see what he does in there to see how that would change. And of course, this is going to be changing a lot, because this would mean Future Gohan would be coming back instead of Future Trunks, and this would actually make Gohan much stronger in Super than he actually is. So anyways guys, please leave a like if you did enjoy. Please comment down below what you think of this what if scenario. Do you agree with it? Do you agree with it? Let me know down below. And I hope you guys have an amazing day, and Broku72 is out.